Rich Tarani here. Thanks for watching another episode of TMC on the road in Dallas, Texas. On our program is King White. He is the CEO of Site Selection Group. And King, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a few years. I'm glad to see you.
I don't remember how many years it's been, but I'm going to say 4 years, maybe, something like that.
Right. Yep, sounds about right.
Maybe more, but it's great to see you. Great to have you back.
Absolutely, appreciate you having me here.
Let's start at the top for people who haven't seen the prior interview. Just give me the overview of your company.
Sure, we're a location advisory and economic incentives firm, which means we help companies to optimize their location decisions for their business. So if you're like an IT company or a call center or just looking to relocate your business into a more strategic spot, we help evaluate labor markets, real estate, economic incentives to help you make a better decision.
Excellent. So what sorts of trends have you been seeing lately in terms of economic or locations that are more economically viable to move to?
Sure. When you look at the global perspective, we're seeing a lot of shifting back to the U.S. So a lot of companies that have moved either manufacturing or call center operations offshore have come back onshore to the U.S. just because of the desirable market conditions and the need for more direct access to customers, language skills, things like that. So that's been more of the macro level. And within the U.S., we're really seeing a trend to companies struggling with higher rents, higher labor rates around the country. So they're trying to figure out what the right spot is for them. So just trying to find those next emerging spots that can help a company operate efficiently and find the right talent.
Are you able to go into specific ones that are regions that are good, or states or municipalities or whatever?
Sure, yeah. There's some, Texas, I happen to be here in Texas, but we do work all around the country. I mean, it's obviously a very desirable area of the country right now. Governor Abbott here has put together some great economic incentive programs, which have been attracting companies, giving cash grants, training grants, and things like that. Then when you look at the local level, Texas is an example, once again has a lot of local incentives. So you'll see places like Frisco or Plano attracting a lot of businesses. But then, when you look around the country, there's a lot of other markets. I mean, places like Tampa, Phoenix have had a lot of migration of companies because they're just a lower cost of living, lower cost of doing business, good talent, reasonable real estate costs, economic incentives. It's the balance of all those factors that makes a market a really good location.
Does a state income tax factor into companies moving?
It does, yeah. So you see a lot of the Northeast markets often penalized. Illinois has got some stiff tax conditions, so you've seen a lot of companies migrating out there. California is a classic example where, a lot of companies have been leaving that state, coming to Texas and to other markets around the U.S.
So my home state of Connecticut has General Electric that is kind of upset with not only the high income tax that we have in Connecticut, but also the retroactive raising of income tax, which was raised in the summer retroactively to January a few years back, and so now they're looking at other markets.
Yeah, that's a great example. The GE deal has been highly sought after, and Texas actually just got eliminated from that. So there's still a few states in contention for that project, and so that's the same issue we're seeing a lot of clients struggle with. I mean, it's either an issue that taxes may be, or the general business climate may not be what they're looking for. A lot of companies just can't attract the talent. Maybe they're in a tier 2 market. We just helped a company that's headquartered in Louisiana, a large chemicals company, and they just couldn't attract the talent from around the country to come in and run the business, publicly traded entity. So they've relocated to North Carolina. And so companies are, really taking this seriously as they're battling for, talent and want to grow and scale their businesses.
Now, speaking of talent, it's an interesting time in the country's history because of just the massive amount of immigration, illegal and legal, and it's becoming a big political issue. I'm just curious, does the flow of immigration to various states affect business decisions? I imagine it would if that's a group that they might hire or they might sell to.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's two groups that are probably impacted by that. It's manufacturing, so as long as they're, once they become green cards or get legal, then they can work in the manufacturing operations. Or if it's agricultural, of course, that's always a big cluster for anybody coming from an immigration standpoint. But We do a lot of call center work, so they're often seeking bilingual workers. So if you see heavy densities where a lot of the immigration has occurred and clustered, like in the South Texas area, been a highly desirable area. Low cost of living, low cost of labor, excellent bilingual workforce that work in call centers, and you can't find that kind of talent anywhere in the U.S. other than along the border states where there's a heavy migration of immigrants.
I'm just curious, and this is I'm not sure that I've seen anything about this kind of stat, but is there any kind of factor for work ethic in different parts of the country, or is that not reality?
There is. I'll tell you the funny thing is sometimes you see the West Coast to have kind of the most fluid work ethic. You know what I'm saying? So like in the Midwest, it's still got a strong culture of working traditional work hours and just being a hardworking workforce. The quality's good, language skills are good. The Southeast continues to pull in projects, but the quality levels can sometimes be questionable. People, depending on what kind of quality of workers they're looking for. So it works well for blue-collar operations, but sometimes white-collar operations, higher skill sets, a Tier 2 Southeast market may not work.
Some years back, an owner of a call center in North Dakota was telling me that the work ethic is so strong there could be 4 feet of snow on the ground and every single seat is filled by 8 a.m. or whenever they open.
Right. I'll tell you the biggest thing that's happened in North Dakota is the energy sector, oil and gas sector.
This was before that boom,
right,
so that was like the only thing they could do.
I mean, the language skills, as an example, are incredible. Just totally neutral dialect. Hardworking, good work ethic. I mean, you're absolutely right. Yeah, North Dakota, South Dakota have always had, and they've got a strong clustering of back office and call center operations there.
So give me a closing statement. I'm a company and my lease is going to be up sometime soon, or I just think that I may have some opportunities around the country or the world that will help my company grow either through lower taxes or through better business environment or some other factors. Why do I need you when I could do the research myself? What benefits do you bring to the table for my company?
Sure. I'll tell you, most companies are often just look at the real estate piece alone, and it's such an inconsequential part of the equation that real estate costs are 5 to 10% of your operating budget. You got to look at the things that are critical to your business. It's the logistics, it's labor costs, it's all those other factors. And so what our company does is we look at all those factors versus like a traditional real estate firm only looking at your real estate. Driving 10, 20% savings in real estate is only a small piece of the puzzle. And so we look at the grander aspect of what a company's looking for.
Fantastic. So really a better ROI on the move.
Our whole tagline is delivering ROI for corporate location decisions.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for being on the program.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rich.